My people, let's get straight to the point. Nnamdi Kanu has taken a bold step once again. The leader of IPOB has filed a fresh suit against the federal government, asking the court to permanently stop his ongoing trial. He says the trial has been going on unfairly, especially after he was discharged by the Court of Appeal. If you're following this story, please like this video now and subscribe so you stay updated on every development. In this new suit, marked FHC ABJJ CR 383-2015, Kanu highlighted 4 major defects in the ongoing trial. These are contempt of appellate authority, failure to take judicial notice of repeal, denial of fair hearing, and reliance on forgery. He says that each of these problems alone is enough to invalidate the trial, but together they make the trial completely void. My people, take a moment to like this video. It really helps. And subscribe if you haven't yet so you don't miss future updates. Kanu argues that the federal government is in flagrant contempt of a previous appellate judgment that discharged him. He says, according to the doctrine of appellate finality, that order should have completely ended the trial. Until the Supreme Court set it aside, he insists, the discharge was still binding and enforceable. He even cited past cases to support this, making it clear that continuing the trial without respecting these judgments is a serious violation of the rule of law. Another critical point Kanu raised is about fair hearing. He says that after spending 4 years in solitary confinement, he was only allowed 3 hours of monitored consultation with his lawyers before entering his defense in a capital case. He calls this judicial perversity. Imagine that, after all the years in detention, only a few hours to prepare your defense in such a serious case. If you agree that everyone deserves a fair hearing, please click like now and subscribe to the channel so you can follow the updates. Kanu also raised concerns about a forged medical report. The court had ruled on his fitness to stand trial based on a report dated September 23, 2025. But Kanu points out that the order directing the Nigerian Medical Association to examine him was issued 3 days later, on September 26. He says no examination actually took place, which makes the report fraudulent. He insists that the reliance on this fake document makes the court's ruling invalid. Please like this video and subscribe if you want the real gist so you don't miss any new twists. Because of all these points, Kanu is urging the court to declare the proceedings void and terminate the trial immediately. This is a huge move, and it has reignited discussions on how high-profile cases are handled. People are asking, is the system fair? Are trials really transparent? These are questions everyone watching this should think about. Remember to like this video and subscribe, because staying informed is important. Now the situation is even more dramatic because Kanu's lawyers have withdrawn or been sacked, leaving him to represent himself. He has stated he will handle his defense personally and may call witnesses from Kenya, Ethiopia, and other countries. That is a bold step and shows he's taking full control of his case. Some think it's smart, others think it's risky. What do you think? Drop your opinion in the comments below, like this video, and subscribe to join the conversation. Outside the courtroom, the tension continues. Protests by supporters have occurred, demanding Kanu's release and fairness in the trial. Police and security agencies have been deployed to manage public order. The government maintains that the trial should continue because it has the responsibility to prosecute the case. So, as of now, there's a clear standoff. One side wants the trial terminated, the other side insists it must continue. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you can get updates directly from me as events unfold. The outcome of this suit is extremely significant. If the court agrees with Kanu, the trial could end, which would be a landmark ruling. If the court rejects the suit, the trial will continue, and both sides will return to argue their cases in full. Every move now is being closely watched, not just in Nigeria, but internationally. My people, like this video now and subscribe so you don't miss the next big update. The implications go beyond just this trial. Kanu's case raises bigger questions about justice and transparency in the legal system. With allegations of forged reports, limited access to lawyers, and prolonged detention, The public is questioning whether the system is truly fair. At the same time, the government emphasizes that due process is being followed and national security must be considered. This is why everyone is watching closely. Remember to like and subscribe if you care about justice and fairness in high-profile cases. Kanu's decision to file this fresh suit shows he still believes in the legal system. Despite his complaints, he is using the law to fight for his rights. This move is bold, and it keeps the story alive in the public eye. People are waiting to see how the federal government responds. Usually, the government will file a reply opposing the suit, and then the judge will set a date to hear arguments. This could change the course of the trial. Like this video and subscribe so you can follow every stage live. Another important angle is Kanu representing himself. This is not easy at all. Capital cases are complex, and handling cross-examinations and evidence alone is very challenging. Some think bringing back lawyers would be wiser, but Kanu insists on taking full control. What do you think? Comment below, like this video, and subscribe for more discussion. No matter what happens, this case is testing the strength of Nigeria's judicial system. Courts are under pressure to act fairly, the government is under pressure to maintain security, and supporters are waiting anxiously for justice. This story is far from over. Please like this video and subscribe now if you haven't already. It helps keep updates coming to you in real time. In the coming days, we will see if the court terminates the trial or allows it to continue. The implications are huge for Kanu, for the government, and for the Nigerian legal system as a whole. The public is paying close attention, and international observers are watching too. Please like this video and subscribe so you can be first to hear the next update. This is a very high-stakes moment. Kanu's fresh suit challenges the legitimacy of the ongoing trial, points to serious legal defects, and raises questions about fairness and transparency. The courtroom drama, public reactions, and legal arguments are all unfolding at the same time. Like this video if you want more updates, and subscribe so you can follow every development as it happens. Now, my people, let's dig a little deeper into what Kanu is arguing in this fresh suit. He is saying that the ongoing trial is full of legal defects, and these defects are serious enough to terminate the case completely. One of the biggest issues he highlighted is contempt of appellate authority. He argues that the Court of Appeal had discharged him before, and continuing the trial after that discharge is, in his words, a clear violation of the law. He's saying, if a higher court says I should be discharged, then the trial should stop immediately. That's a bold argument, and it's one that legal analysts are watching closely. My people, if you find this analysis interesting, take a moment to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss any of the updates. Another major point he raises is the denial of fair hearing. Kanu says that after 4 years in detention, he was only allowed 3 hours of monitored consultation with his lawyers before presenting his defense. In a capital case, that is simply not enough time. He claims this is a clear denial of his rights and calls it judicial perversity. If you agree that every defendant deserves a fair hearing, please click like and subscribe. This story is far from over, and the updates will keep coming. The forged medical report allegation is also crucial. Kanu points out that the court relied on a medical report dated September 23, 2025 to determine his fitness for trial, but the actual order for his medical examination was issued 3 days later. He says this is impossible and therefore the report is fraudulent. If the court based any ruling on this report, Kanu argues, then those rulings are invalid. People are talking about this, asking, how can such a serious report be accepted without verification? This is why this fresh suit is grabbing headlines. Remember, like this video and subscribe so you can follow this story as it unfolds. Let's also talk about the self-representation angle. Kanu's lawyers have either withdrawn or been sacked, leaving him to defend himself. Now, representing yourself in a high-profile case is very difficult. He plans to call witnesses from countries like the UK, US, Kenya, and Ethiopia. That means the court will have to deal with international witness coordination, cross-border legal issues, and verification of documents. This is unprecedented in many ways. My people, What do you think? Is this brave or risky? Comment below, like this video, and subscribe to stay part of this conversation. Now, outside the courtroom, the story continues to generate reactions. Kanu's supporters have held peaceful protests, demanding justice and fairness. Security agencies have deployed personnel to control public order, ensuring that demonstrations remain calm. At the same time, the federal government insists the trial must continue, emphasizing that the due process must be respected and that the law applies to everyone equally. So far, both sides are standing firm. Please like this video and subscribe so you can get every new development live. Legally, the outcome of this fresh suit could set a major precedent. If the court agrees with Kanu, it could effectively end his trial, which would be a landmark ruling in Nigerian law. On the other hand, if the court rejects the suit, the trial will continue, and Kanu will have to present his defense fully, calling witnesses, submitting documents, and challenging evidence. Either way, this case is testing the limits of the legal system and showing how critical transparency and fairness are. My people, don't forget to like and subscribe so you stay informed. Another layer to this story is the political and public perception. The case is highly sensitive and every development sparks debates online and offline. Supporters see Kanu as fighting for his rights and justice, while critics argue that the law must take its course. This mix of legal, political, and public dynamics makes the story complex and fascinating. Please take a moment to like this video, subscribe, and share it with friends who are following the case. Now, let's think about the potential scenarios. 1. The court terminates the trial. That would be a huge victory for Kanu and could strengthen his supporters' claims of injustice. 2. The court rejects the suit. That would mean the trial continues and the spotlight would shift to how effectively Kanu represents himself and manages witnesses. 3. The court might partially rule in his favor, perhaps addressing some of the legal defects but allowing the trial to continue under specific conditions. Any of these outcomes will have major consequences for the judiciary, the government, and public opinion. My people, like this video and subscribe so you don't miss the verdict. It's also important to consider the human angle. Kanu has spent several years in detention. The stress, the uncertainty, and the prolonged trial are not easy on any individual. When he files this fresh suit, he is making a statement about his right to justice and his determination to challenge what he sees as unfair treatment. This is why the story resonates so strongly with many people. If you feel strongly about justice, take a moment now to like this video and subscribe so you can continue following the updates. The courts now have a delicate task. They must weigh Kanu's arguments about contempt of appellate authority, denial of fair hearing, and the alleged forged report, while balancing the federal government's responsibility to prosecute serious offenses. Judges will need to consider legal principles carefully because the ruling could have implications for other high-profile cases. My people, don't forget, like this video and subscribe because every update is important for understanding what happens next. Finally, as we wait for the court to schedule its next hearing, the public, the media, and international observers remain vigilant. Everyone is watching and every statement, every document, every ruling is analyzed closely. This is a case that blends law, politics, and public opinion in a way that captures national attention. My people, if you want to keep following this story in real time, please like this video and subscribe so you are always up to date. This fresh suit is more than just another filing. It is a bold legal move that challenges the trial's foundation, raises serious questions about fairness, and keeps everyone talking. As Kanu's team pushes for termination and the government defends the trial, the drama is far from over. Make sure you like this video and subscribe. It's the only way to keep getting the full story.